Welcome back, Traffic Arrow Blog. This is part 4 of market research, blueprinting, market triangulation, blueprinting using Google Wonder Wheel. And I'm going to show you the blueprint, the skeleton, the silo structure that I came up with for building a possible site on Japanese recipes. So we've got our home page here, our index page, our home directory. It's going to be based on the theme or the keyword of Japanese recipes. So we're going to write content on our home page, obviously an article or some content based around Japanese recipes, and then we're going to form categories underneath that, or directories that are based on some categories I was able to dig up doing all this research. So let's just take a look at what I was able to pull up. First of all, we've got all of our recipe-based keywords, the best ones that I was able to find. And I may be missing an area or two here, but this is a good place to start. We've got sushi recipes, bento recipes, tofu recipes, and sweet and sour recipes. You combine all 5 of these keyword groups and keyword phrases rather, and you've got an awful lot of traffic for recipe seekers, different types of Japanese recipe seekers. There are more categories under recipes that we could add later as we build out our site in the future, but these are a really good start. All 5 of these have a high level of traffic. Bento recipes has a little bit less. But then what I did after that is I found some 4 other categories that I can include in my site that were more geared towards monetization keywords. These are real broad keywords, and recipe seekers a lot of them are likely to be looking for free information, free recipes. Yes, a certain percentage of these will be interested in buying recipe cookbooks. So that's what we're counting on, and possible other purchases from these traffic streams. But we really wanted to target searchers that are much more likely to buy, and we'll do that with long tail article writing later. But what I was able to come up with were these other 4 categories that are much more targeted. If somebody types in Japanese cookbooks, they're much more likely to be looking for a cookbook that they're going to purchase. Some free cookbook seekers, but if somebody typed in Japanese cookbooks, their chance of purchasing is much higher than somebody looking for just the word recipes. Japanese cookware, once again, people searching specifically for Japanese cookware, you can't get free Japanese cookware, so much more buyers included in that search term. Japanese cooking knives, same thing. A lot of money in Japanese cooking knives. Cookware, a little bit less, a little more general. Japanese sets, a very popular item for sushi sets, tea sets, a lot of interested buyers there. So we've got a combination of high traffic keywords based around the recipe terms, and we've got 4 other category groups based on more likely to buy areas. So then for each one of these categories, we're obviously going to write content and articles. We're going to put up videos, whatever type of content we want based around each one of these category pages. Underneath these inside of these categories, which are going to be folders or directories that are going to hold further articles as we build out our site on areas around Japanese cookbooks. So you'll have an article down here maybe called the best Japanese cookbooks to buy. Whatever the article titles are, but they're going to include long tail keywords, and I'll show you how to get into long tail keyword content writing when we get into other areas on SEO and content building for your site in future videos. For now, I just wanted to show you generally what I was able to come up with, and so we have quite a possibly profitable model here that we've built out. We're going to want to do competition research, and we're going to want to speculate what the profit potential is much more deeply, which I'm going to show you in some upcoming market research videos. But for now, we've got a really good looking start at a site that looks to possibly be able to generate a lot of income. So let's go back and just look at the traffic and cost and competition on some of these words. A Japanese recipe or recipes has 60,500 visitors a month. So if we're in the top position, we're not going to garner all 60,500, but we may get 70 to 80% of those visitors if we're in the top one position. That's what experts generally say. The top SEO experts generally say somewhere between 70 to 80% of this traffic, depending on if you're in the top position rather. So this is a cheap, on the advertising side and the Google AdWords side of things, it's only a 26-cent keyword. Not an earth-shattering keyword, but that's a lot of traffic, and we can get some cookbook buyers and other buyers out of this traffic stream. When we go to bento recipes, we only have about 5,400 monthly average visitors, but and this is also a very cheap keyword. So once again, we're in the same situation with these type of recipe seekers. Sushi recipes, we've got 40,500. That's a lot. That's another big group of visitors. This one's a little bit more expensive. Sushi's pretty popular, but it's a real general term and not a lot of buyers on just looking for recipes, mostly freebie seekers. But there are definitely a percentage of buyers, and we can find out how many. So then we've also got what was the last? Sweet and sour recipes. And these are real good broad categories to have underneath Japanese recipes, because they don't have the word Japanese in them in particular, but they are Japanese related foods, and they're broad categories. So this one gets sweet and sour recipes, 33,000, and it's a very cheap keyword on the advertising side of things. But then when we go down and we look at Japanese cookbooks, oops, I spelled it wrong. Japanese cookbooks is a lot less traffic, but a much more targeted keyword. 6,600 visitors. This one is a much higher. It's a lot higher price, more than double, 62 cents per click. And we've got Japanese cookware. See if that's more than cookbooks. Should be. More expensive items. Yep, 82 cents, and again, less traffic. Once more, 2,900. Still a good amount of traffic there. And Japanese knives. This is probably going to be less traffic than 2,900, but a much more expensive keyword. That's $1.25, and a lot of traffic, 27,000. But then we can make a category, Japanese knives, and then underneath that we'll make articles on Japanese kitchen knives, Japanese chef knives, and these are pretty expensive keywords. Not super expensive, but there's a lot of money in Japanese knives. As you saw, we have some expensive Japanese knife sets. And then we've got Japanese sets, and that should be a little bit less expensive than knives, maybe around 97 cents. Japanese set gets a ton of traffic, 60,500 visitors over the last in May. That is a lot, and that's a pretty decent price right there. We can get some buyers definitely in here. And then we've got tea sets. We've got a whole bunch of different type of sets that we can target, and some of them are more expensive, like some of them are a little bit more and a little bit less. Got Japanese knife set. That'll probably go under Japanese knives. And I think I covered them all. So that's what we're looking at. So now in the next series, we're going to get into looking at your competition research and looking at the profitability potential a little bit more cynically. It's kind of hard to tell on this type of a market when you have keywords that are the advertising cost is anywhere, you know, around $1 or less. Sometimes they can be very profitable. If you have keywords that are up around $4, obviously you're looking at a lot of profit. When keywords get to be up around $4, you've got a lot of buyers in that market. But it also can be because the products are much more expensive that they're buying. So there's no hard and fast rule on what a market might yield. This has got a lot of traffic, and it looks like it's got a lot of real good potential for making a good return. And I'll see you in the next series on competitive market research. And until then, have a blessed